Hello everyone, welcome to our Accounting 210. In this video, we will continue with the chapter 2. So for each chapter, most likely you have two assignments. The first one is kind of, I call it market lab assignment. It's basically a big problem. For chapter 2, I will post a video showing you how to work on the question. Your assignment will be similar, the logic is similar, but you definitely have different numbers. The focus is on how to make the financial statement, especially the income statement for manufacturing firms and then for merchandising firms. But in this video, I focus on another assignment, which is the chapter 2, the quiz. I created some multiple choice. Sometimes you may have a true or false, but most likely it's the multiple choice. So you will be ready for the exams. Now let's get started to look at some questions together. If you don't know how to get my accounting lab, watch my syllabus video and then open the SIUE Blackboard, click our course. For the first time, you need to go to left hand, get a red shelf, so that you can get access code. From the second time, you just need to click my accounting lab, and that will lead you to the my accounting lab directly. I already opened my accounting lab here. So for chapter 2, you can see there are 16 questions. Total points are 28 because I put many points, some points for the hard questions. We talk about those questions, some of them together. Some of them, like 1 point is basically for the concept question. I skip those parts. Make sure you watch the video, read textbook, get the idea on those concepts. So now let's look at the question, look at the calculation question. Okay, let's look at one of the calculation question. I think this is a good one to practice the concept of manufacturing overhead. This question said a company making a furniture and then they have all these costs. Sorry, you have to, kind of look at this like this. Asking about the manufacturing overhead, asking about the manufacturing overhead. So chapter 2, manufacturing overhead is a very important concept. I want to review kind of that part with you. So before we go to the manufacturing overhead, I want to first review the concept of cost with you, right? So we have a cost, and then we said we can separate them to product cost and then for period cost. So if you watch the video, you should know the product cost is basically everything related with your manufacturing, with the plant, with the factory, right? So those are the key words. And then period cost are all of the costs except for production or the purchase. So we said the product cost, we have direct material and then direct labor and then manufacturing overhead. So if the material and the labor can be easily traced, trace the cost to the cost object, we call it direct cost, direct labor and then direct material. So if it cannot be traced to the cost object, we call it indirect cost. And the manufacturing overhead has 3 parts. So I put it here. We have an indirect material, indirect labor, and then other manufacturing overhead like utility, depreciation, and then insurance, those things. Okay, so let's analyze each part and then see whether they are manufacturing overhead, yes or no. The question focus is on manufacturing overhead. So let's look at whether they are manufacturing overhead, yes or no, okay? The first one is depreciation on sales office. So the key word is sales office. Is this product cost or period cost? So this is period cost. We don't even look at whether it's manufacturing overhead, yes or no, right? So keyword is sales. If it's the sales office, then it will be a period cost. Second question is second item is also depreciation, but it's on factory. So it's on the factory equipment. So this is the product cost, and this is our manufacturing overhead. So 16,800 is our manufacturing overhead. Next one, factory supervisor salary. So factory, so that's definitely our product cost. And supervisor, so this is our factory supervisor. So this is indirect labor, right? Indirect labor is our manufacturing overhead. And then we have 50,100. We have 50,100. Next one, sales commission. Sales commission. Keyword what? Keyword is sales. So this is our period cost. This is our period cost. It's not even product cost. We don't need to worry about this one. Next one, lubricants used in factory equipment. If you read textbook, you can see this is a very typical example. Lubricant for the factory. So this is a very typical example of an indirect material. So we have this 3,100 as manufacturing overhead. Insurance cost for the factory. So this is the factory insurance. This is other manufacturing overhead, right? So this is our manufacturing overhead, 21,000. Next one, wage paid to maintenance workers. So keyword is maintenance worker. Maintenance worker. They work in the factory, but they are not the assembling line. So this is indirect labor. This is indirect labor. 115,900. This is our manufacturing overhead. Next one, fabric used for our furniture. So this is what? This is fabric used for our furniture. This is our direct material. It is not manufacturing overhead. This is direct material. It's not manufacturing overhead. Next one, freight in for the raw material. For the raw material. So this is our direct material. This 3,400 is our direct material. It's not our manufacturing overhead. Next one, I know you said, oh my goodness, I have to analyze each item. Yeah, you have to analyze each item. Next one is the delivery cost. What is this? Delivery cost is the period cost. It's not even product cost. Next one, almost, okay, how there with me. Assembling line, assembling line. So this is what? This is our direct labor. This is our direct labor. So it's not manufacturing overhead. Next one, lumber used to build the product. So lumber used to build our product. This is direct material. This is direct material. Is not our manufacturing overhead. Next one, utility for factory. What is this? Manufacturing overhead. Manufacturing overhead. 54,700. 54,700. Last one. Oh yeah, almost there. I just need to check the answer. Utility for the sales. For the sales. Keyword sales. So this is our period cost. It's not manufacturing overhead. Goodness, I need to take a break, guys. Let's put all these numbers in the calculator. Fingers crossed to see whether we got the right answer, yes or no. Pray for me. 16,800 plus 50,100 plus 3,100 plus 21,000 plus 115,900 plus 54,700. I got the number 261,600. 261. I got the answer A. So let's see whether it's goodness 261,900. Okay, 261,600. Hold on. I think I got it. So which part is not right? Okay. I think they changed the numbers. They changed some of the number. See, they changed some of the number. I think because I put this as the, you know, algorithmic. So every time you change, you click it, you will get a new number. But I'm pretty sure that's the right answer. For this specific question with the original number, this is the right answer because I did it many times before I start making this video. So the logic is I'm not going to even look at this question. But if you say, oh, I don't believe you, so if you don't believe me, we check the answer. Okay, so if you don't believe me, so it still bothers me. That's not the answer. So let's use this new number. So let's use the new number. Right? You know which item is manufacturing overhead. So 16,400 plus supervisor 5,500 plus, you know, sales commission, no, liberate this one 3,500 plus insurance 21,800 plus 115,700 plus our fabric, no, this is material cost delivery, no, this is direct labor number, this is direct material, utility 54,000. Okay, so I got the number 261,900, 261,900. Oh yeah, yes. Okay, so this is really, I think it's really a good practice, you know, to separate period cost and then product cost, and out of product cost, you need to know those three different parts. I put 5 points there. It's not easy to earn these 5 points. Okay, so let's look at next one. I think there are some, this concept, I leave those questions for you. I work on some question with you. So this one talking about period cost, right? I'm not even doing this one, but I just want to let you know what is period cost. All the costs except for product or purchase. So R&D, design, marketing, distribution, customer service, you know, those are all period costs. Make sure you know this one. I don't think it's really hard. Next one, asking you about the gross profit, right? Asking you about gross profit. How do you get gross profit? I'm not going to do the question, but how do you get this gross profit? Okay, how do you get this gross profit? How do you get gross profit? How do you get this gross profit? Hold on. How do I go to the next page? Okay, I think, oh, sorry. Okay, I'll put it here then. I'll put it here, right? How do you get the gross profit? So I go to the review. I want to share my idea with you. I use the blue color. I use the green color. Okay, so next, this one asking you about the gross profit. So how do we get our gross profit? General idea is revenue minus cost of goods sold. You get your gross profit. And then minus all the period cost. We call it operating expense. Gives you operating income. But this one only asks gross profit. So you need to get your revenue and cost of goods sold. You already have your revenue. General idea is how do you get your cost of goods sold, right? You have beginning, you have a purchase, you have ending, so you should be able to get your cost of goods sold by yourself. I don't worry about this one either. Next one asking you about total manufacturing cost to account for. Okay, so this one, so I put a line here. This one asking you about total manufacturing cost to account for total manufacturing or total manufacturing cost to account for. How do you get this one? Think. It's your beginning work in process plus what? Plus direct material use, direct labor, manufacturing overhead. So that will give you total cost to account for. That's all. So this gives you total manufacturing cost to account for. Okay. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the PowerPoint, go back to your textbook. So if you have the beginning working process and then add direct material, direct labor, manufacturing overhead, they give you more than enough information. Make sure you just pick the one that you want to use to get the manufacturing cost to account for. Next one, talking about what? Go to you already go to the last page. Ask you what's the gross profit. So similar question, right? Ask you gross profit. So the keyword will be revenue minus cost of goods sold. Let's look at this one. You have the sales revenue already. You have the sales revenue. So you need to get what? You need to get your cost of goods sold. How do you get cost of goods sold? Beginning inventory plus the purchase minus your ending inventory. That gives you cost of goods sold. They give you extra information, sales commission. This is period cost. Don't be confused with the extra information. I think those are general questions, right? So, okay, so those are the questions. I think the calculation is kind of tricky, especially for the first one, kind of. So I put my notes in the blackboard also, and then let me know if you have any question. Make sure you have 2 attempts, and then the higher points will go to your total points. Thank you. That's all for chapter 2. I know it's really a lot of work, a lot of concept, terminology, calculation. Do your best, okay? Don't wait until last day to prepare for the exam 1. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. See you next time.